And what's up guys, welcome back to part 5 of my Yamaha DT 125 restoration. In this part I will be putting on the brake system as long as the rear foot pegs and some other bits around the bike which I just got back from powder coating. It's the same color as my rims so that everything matches. I will firstly put on the rear foot pegs, and after that I will start slowly assembling the brake system of this Yamaha. And here is how the foot pegs sit. I shortened these bolts a bit so that they don't stick out a lot. I'm gonna wash this, of course. I'm not gonna leave it dirty like this. The front foot peg. And now it's time to put on the front lever and the brake pump for the rear brake. So this is how it will all sit. I need to tighten down this brake pump and put this snap ring right here to hold this brake lever so it doesn't come apart while driving. And after some back and forth, I finally installed this brake pump with this lever. The screws go from behind through this, and the pump has M8 thread, and I also put this 13mm nut as a safety precaution, just to make sure that this bolt doesn't come loose. Now it's time to put in the new brake pads, because I have a brand new brake disc, and put on this brand new brake hose, because it just fits it very good. So the brake hose is on, this here is tightened up, this here is tightened up, and of course I needed to use a zip tie to hold on the hose in place so it doesn't get into the tire or something. This is tightened down here. This is an original mount for something, but I won't be using it for anything else, so the brake pump reservoir it is. Now it's time to bleed the brake caliper, and for that I'm going to put brake fluid. I'm going to use this Brembo .4 brake fluid, and I'm just gonna wait a couple of minutes and start pumping. You should start pumping, hold the brake lever, crack the bleeder screw, let the air come out, close it, and put the brake lever back. After testing out the rear brake system, it's time to put on the front. I have this new brake pump here. This is just a CNC lever, and I'm going to put it right next to the throttle so it is easy to reach over and adjust it to my liking, up or down. So here we have the brake pump for the front brake. I am going to remove this control thing for the lights. When I turn the bike on, the lights will go on, and I can adjust from here: lower high beam, left and right turn signal, and the horn. I don't need anything more to control on this bike. I like to keep it as simple as I can. Now it's time to run this hose and see how it will go. Make sure it doesn't touch anything, doesn't rub on anything. Let's see how it will go. I managed to order the longer hose. I didn't get the proper one and I'm not going to replace it. Now it's time to sort the issue of the front caliper. I want this bigger caliper. It has two pistons inside. I don't want the single piston ones. And you can see how tight the space here is. It's going to be a bit of a problem, and I will try to sort this issue out by making some sort of custom bracket. Firstly using cardboard, and after that making one out of metal. So using a piece of paper or a piece of cardboard, I made the template for the bracket, and then I made this bracket right here. Given that it's 1 centimeter thick, I just need to smooth it down a little, make it thinner, because it is way too big to fit into here. The holes are lined up okay, and everything should work as soon as I make this thinner. Okay, so the bracket is sanded down and I painted it black. I sanded it down quite a bit because it was very rusty and very thick, and now it's the perfect size. I will let it dry for about 15 to 20 minutes, retread the threads again because they're full of paint and other stuff, re-drill this hole. I need to make it a little bit bigger, and I'm going to put the bracket onto the bike. Okay, so here is the bracket and the caliper itself. I put on the lower bolt, time to put on the upper bolt. Now it's time to put on this bolt, this nut I mean, back here, just how it is from factory. I think it's a 12 millimeter. My desk is an absolute mess. Now it's time to tighten this little nut down and see if we have any rubbing issues and any sort of blocking. This is mounted up. It has a little play just as it needs. It needs to move freely, not tight, and that is good. Now it's time to put on the brake hose and to remove the air, aka bleed the brake system. Now I'm just going to put a little zip tie here and have some free moving space for the hose in case of expanding of the forks. Okay, so we have the brake caliper on. The bracket for the brake caliper is tightened down. We don't have any rubbing issues, even though it is that loose. Jesus. We have the brake hose on. It is tightened down here. I used a little zip tie to hold it here. Left a little bit of slack, and it is routed like this. I'm waiting on the speedometer. There will be the key here and the thermometer here, and in the middle we have a speedometer. Now it's time to open up this cap, put in the brake fluid and bleed the brakes. You can see the little bubbles, and that is good because air is escaping up from the brake hose. You can tap the brake hose like this to remove any air and just pump the lever up and down. And that is it for this video. We have the front brake, we have the rear brake, nothing is leaking. I may or may not redo this bracket and relocate the caliper here because I don't like how it sits now, but we will see about that, what I will do about it. That is it for the video. See you in the next one.